Hi, Litchfield. Welcome to a very exciting press release. It's something that's happened over the week that I was made aware of and asked to come and host. And we have some really special guests here with us tonight. We have Janine Nodder from Merrimack, Ralph Bohm from Litchfield, Mark McLean from Manchester, and our very own Rich LaSalle, Selectman and State Rep. And what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about a new piece of legislation, a bill that has been put in to alleviate some of the financial impact that the Cinco Bean PFOA problem has had for Litchfield, as well as to protect other towns in the future in New Hampshire from the same type of problem. So I'm going to turn it over to Ralph. Ralph has written the bill that was put out. I do want to take 1 second though to just say just a remembrance that it is September 11th, and that as a town, I just kind of want to remind you all how we all felt as one town and one people when this happened 19 years ago. I can't let the opportunity go by to not mention all those people that we lost that were our people, the people that were running that were our people, and to try and bring that remembrance into the rest of the year. We sometimes forget how we all come together in crisis, and when things aren't terrible crises, we kind of pick each other apart. So now I'm going to go to Ralph. And Ralph, can you please tell me what kind of bill you've put in?
Well, this bill, over the last few years with Cinco Bean, the town had negotiated with Cinco Bean to do a multitude of things, which they've done. The problem is I don't know how much money was spent with legal activities and whatnot on it, but other towns might have problems with other companies and might have taken it to court and those kind of things. So I figured, let's put it in legislation, put it in the law saying what companies that pollute and found to be polluting must do, okay, if they're polluting the water. And one of them is, so this is the bill that I sent into Legislative Services to draft a bill and require any company that is responsible for polluting the water shall connect the homes or businesses to a commercial or municipal water supply, which is what Cinco Bean has done. But this doesn't say Cinco Bean, it's for anything. Also, just we found out the current houses will be done that have been coming under this by end of fall, supposedly.
So those people have been sitting out there for 4 years without.
Well, the ones that, no, a lot of were connected, and the ones that didn't meet the new DES requirements,
So that
those will be done soon.
evaluation has hit.
Yeah. So
Litchfield.
supposedly DES has said at our last meeting that they will be done by end of fall.
And that's the ones with the PFOA
Right.
level has gone down as to
Right.
what is acceptable to the average home. Okay.
Also, which is being done now but might not be done in the future, is supply drinking water to homes or businesses until the connection is made. And also, if a hookup cannot be made in a reasonable time, and we'll discuss that when we go through the legislation, when I get it from Legislative Services, and that's why we have hearings and whatnot, what's a reasonable time. The responsible company shall hook up a water whole house input filter and maintain the filter. I know that was discussed some years ago with, and there may be some town in the future that there isn't any municipal or commercial water supply they can hook up to. So this way, that's covered. Also, we're looking at the responsible company will then pay the water bills of those that they've hooked up for 5 years or until the property is sold. The water bill will be based on the average use of comparable other homes, because we don't want everybody all of a sudden, hey,
That's
I
a
can
big
irrigate
deal.
and all that.
Yeah, that's a big deal to Litchfield residents that
Right.
have already put the money into the artesian well and now have lost that well.
Right.
So that's going to be a big.
And the thing we tell the property is sold, because the selling point is you're on commercial water, you're not on the well.
Right.
So, and again, that time limit could be change, that's something we'll discuss when we have hearings on the bill. But they have the bill now, and we'll hopefully see what happens. Okay.
Janine?
And also too, maybe Janine would like to discuss the latest DES appeal from Cinco Bean.
Yes, Ralph and I have been on the Water Commission, sorry, Representative Bowen.
Right.
And Cinco Bean has appealed to the Department of Environmental Services to get an extension to burn up everything in the stack, but that appeal was denied. So February 2021 is when this is supposed to be finished. And then they still need to rectify the water situation, since they have been found to still be polluting.
I'm sorry, being distracted.
Yeah, I saw that. Someone else. And it's on live TV too.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Okay. So thank you very much, Janine.
You're welcome.
Mark.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think,
Oh, God. Okay.
are we okay?
We're okay.
He's locked out.
That's just Jay got locked out, people.
Oh, okay.
Jay got locked.
Well, hopefully,
He's doing all kinds of theatrics behind you, Janine. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know, I saw.
That's the problem with being live.
Well, but it's important to emphasize too a point that Ralph made. This is not a Cinco Bean bill, but also this is not an anti-business bill, which is the last thing that any one of the four of us would want to go after. So this bill is very careful in preserving the legal standard and also the burden of proof. So it's to be very clear that if you're a company that is working to be a good actor and in compliance with the environmental regulations in the state, you have nothing to fear from this regulation. The intent of this regulation is just that after you go through the process, if there is a finding, it just adds to the responsibilities in the event of the finding, and it also clarifies further what those responsibilities are. And also, as Ralph mentioned, it goes beyond the PFOAs and the PFAS to all toxicity. So it anticipates those things which may happen in the future, those toxic actors which maybe we don't know about now, but they can conveniently come under the umbrella of this bill at some point in the future as we learn more about what additionally might be a toxic substance. So.
Yeah, it's a very good bill. I like how it's expanded. I had heard about textile mill in Amherst that has had some findings. So this would help those people as well.
Yeah, the thing is, nobody should be putting anything, even if they think it's not, doesn't hurt. Nobody should be putting anything in the air or in the water.
Yeah, this is New
You
Hampshire.
don't know what's going to happen.
We want some fresh air and fresh water. Rich, this is a process, getting this bill into law and to get our citizens and residents to get their money for the amount of money that they're having to pay for their water, which is not a small sum in Litchfield. For people that gave water to the rest of the state, we're really paying quite a bit through the nose for this
That's
water.
key. I mean, people were perfectly happy to have a well. And now all of a sudden they've got a water bill. But one thing I want to make sure that everybody understands, that a bill to become a law, there's quite a process involved. The first step, which we've taken, is to submit the bill as to be proposed into legislative services. That'll come out with a formal bill, and that'll be assigned to a committee. The committee will have hearings, and the public will have a chance to give testimony to that. And that bill could be amended at that point. It could really be amended anywhere along the line. But once it comes out of committee, then since it's a House bill, it goes to the House. And there, again, there will be a chance to amend the bill. But assuming the House passes the bill, goes to the Senate passes the bill. And if there's a difference, then we'll have to have a conference between the two sides to come out with the final bill. It then goes to the governor, and assuming the governor signs it, then it becomes law. But I would anticipate that we would have bipartisan support for the bill,
Right.
assuming nothing untoward happens between now and then. We'll have bipartisan support, and I can't imagine anybody not supporting it. So I would anticipate, depending on what comes out of legislative services, that we should have some pretty smooth sailing, and I think the governor would sign the bill.
This is a very good bill. It's a people bill. It's not a political bill. And it just makes me so happy that you guys are doing this and taking care of your constituents who put you in there, and for your huge salaries that you make. Which how much is it? You guys make $100
$100 a year.
$100 a year.
Before taxes. So what we get a
They still
check,
tax it.
$200.
They take your taxes? Okay. So you don't get as much money as you probably deserve for the hard work that you put in for your constituents. I know that our state reps are always there for the town to do whatever needs to
And
happen.
just a quick note, last year, Rich and I went up to talk to the PUC on why are we paying so much for our water as compared to Hudson, which gets their water from Litchfield.
I don't think we want to go to,
Just for saying, we went to the PUC to see that, and hopefully we'll get some hearings from the PUC on that issue.
Okay. One of our viewers is asking us, what about allowing people to reconnect wells that they were persuaded to abandon just to water their lawns?
that's something that's outside the scope of this bill.
Would they
It
go to
has
Troy
nothing-
for that? They would go to Troy for that, right? That'd be a town issue. That would go to Troy.
Well, at Pennachuck,
Or did I have to?
Troy has done a really good job at fielding questions for people that
Well,
Pennachuck's not responding to. So either try Pennachuck, and if not Pennachuck, then go to Troy.
or you can always call the selectmen.
Or you could call the selectman or your state rep.
well, one thing too is at some point after the pollution is stopped, after the water should be fine.
We were very relieved to hear
Yeah,
that they weren't going to be given another year.
So another point is like once people, if they still have the well, test the water. And one thing interesting about groundwater, there are other things in the groundwater that we don't have any control over, like arsenic. That comes out of
It's
the
a
water
natural.
itself.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Radon.
it's important that we maintain that this bill is very narrow in scope, that it's aimed
Appointed, yeah.
at one particular issue that's of particular importance to the citizens that are being affected by
Anybody
it.
polluting,
Okay. Where can they find the text for the bill?
we
It's
don't
not
have it
written
yet.
Okay.
Not written yet. Once we get a copy, I get a copy from Legislative Services, the four of us,
Okay, and you can
We can-
release that on the WhatsApp
I'll-
page.
And it'll be available online also.
Online
it'll be
also.
Once it's, once it's, we
Enrolled,
get
yeah.
it and whatnot, it'll be online. And then we can point to it. But it'll probably be a couple months.
Oh.
But probably, it's not going to be sent to any committee until sometime January or
January.
February.
Because you don't reconvene until December. That's correct?
Well, we have organization day and then we're sworn in. So we actually don't get going until January.
Until January. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very
Thank you.
much for having us be able to hear it here first. And we truly appreciate you being here. It's really
Thank
nice
you
to
for
meet
having
you.
us, Diane.
Very
Oh,
much.
thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Are we off?
And we're off.